Hello friends, Coach Bob with you, and today we are going to be talking about somewhat of a grim topic. Now, I don't want you to take this the wrong way because I don't want you to think that I'm sensationalizing anything that's bad. As you know, I am a retired air traffic manager. So I've always been one of those guys that has been forced, honestly, to take data from accidents and things of that nature and figure out lessons learned. What could we do? Even if it was a mechanical malfunction in an aircraft, is there something as an air traffic manager or as the air traffic controllers that I managed, is there something that we could have done that would have made this guy make it to the airport, although his engine had failed or something catastrophic had happened? And a lot of times, although we couldn't have saved that guy, from the lessons that we learned, there were others that were in similar situations that we could do a better job and get that person to the airport and on the ground safely, and more importantly, home to their family alive. So we're going to talk about Daytona, and I don't want you to think this is that I'm trying to, use hyperbole or paint a negative picture about motorcycle rallies in general. But I do want you to understand what goes on at them. The good, the bad, and the ugly, because all of it does happen. Now, the other day I went to a racetrack where motorcycle racers were there. The novice riders that were riding were pretty darn amazing. The intermediates were very good, and the experts were downright scary at how fast they are. And they really, really are. The experts are sharing knowledge with the novice people like me. Although I've been riding a long time, I'm still a novice when it comes to the skill of riding on a track. So what can we learn? What can the mistakes that have been made, whether it was the rider's mistake, the vehicle of the person that they might have had an accident with, could have been a road surface, could have been the lack of wearing gear, all of those things. We're going to talk about those things today and determine what we can do differently to save our lives. So I've got some numbers here. I've got pages and pages of notes. I've looked up, I wanted to know where Daytona was and what's been going on year to year to year. So here's a few numbers. In 2000, the year 2000, 15 people died at Daytona. In 2002, 13 people died. In 2006, that was the highest year they've ever had in the history of Bike Week. 20 people died in 2006. I went over there that year. It was a crazy year too. It really was. 2019, one person. And last year, 6. This year, 8. 8 people died. Over 90 were in trauma units. Now, I did not go into a lot of research with the trauma unit individuals because, quite honestly, the data just wasn't there for me to accumulate. Had it been there, though, I would have taken the time to dig through it. But what I was able to find was what happened in the fatalities. Now, let's talk about the fatalities. First off, I don't have a police report. So what I have is surface knowledge at best. But can we learn from the surface? And are there things that we can grow from to keep us alive for when we go to these events? And in the end, we're going to talk about things that we can personally do, not just from their mistakes, but just things that we can do to be a better rider and a safer rider, especially when we're riding around large groups of people. Now, I want to make something abundantly clear before I even start. I don't do a lot of group rides. And the people that I ride with, I normally know who they are. So take that for what it's worth. I enjoy group rides when I do go on them. I just don't do it a lot. So 8 people. How did they die? The first person lost control and crashed. One vehicle lost control and crashed. No other automobile, just the motorcycle. Death number 2, crashed his motorcycle. No other vehicle associated with it. No other motorcycle associated with it. Crashed his motorcycle. Death number 3, northbound on I-95, ran off the road flipped and rolled and died at the hospital. No other vehicle involved. Number 4. This is the first one. So we're going to write this down. At this point, we have 3 deaths where only the motorcyclist was involved, no other people. Death number 4, crashed with a vehicle at an intersection. Now, with everything that I could find, and I read probably 6 articles on this particular accident. Now, the motorcyclist in this story died. So his side of the story you're not going to get. The vehicle that was associated with it said that the motorcycle was going unbelievably fast and they turned in front of him because when he was further away, they didn't think it was even going to be close. And the guy hit the vehicle at a very high speed. This was the statement that was released in a newspaper of a person in a vehicle. Whether it was the vehicle that was hit or someone else, I do not know. So that one was a motorcycle and a vehicle in basically a T-bone situation. Death number 5. A woman was riding on the back of a motorcycle with a young man driving. While he was driving, his baseball cap flew off. He stopped to make a U-turn to go back and get his hat. They were run over by a Toyota RAV4. She died. He did not. So there's another one where a vehicle and a motorcycle were involved. Death number 6. Motorcyclist found dead on roadway. Single vehicle accident. Death number 7. Simply said motorcycle crash, which would tell me motorcycle only. 5 of them at this point. Death number 8. The young man ran a red light and ran into the side of a school bus. So from these 8 horrific events, now I want you to understand, 200,000 motorcyclists, 200,000 plus went over there. 8 deaths. Of those 8, 7 were definitely avoidable. The one where the car turned in front of the motorcycle, was he going too fast? We don't know. We don't know. There's just not enough data there. So we could give that particular accident the benefit of the doubt and go, hey, this might not have been an avoidable accident, which would have made the deaths 1 in 200,000 at an event where there is a lot of insanity going on. But the 5, let's focus on the 5. The 5 where it was one individual who ran off the road, flipped his motorcycle, ran in the grass, fell down low-sided, high-sided. Chances are most of them were at intersections, which indicates that they were coming around a curve too fast probably, ran off into the grass, ran off into the ditch, and there it is. Now, I am going to tell you, I've seen a lot of people crash. I've seen a lot of people fall pretty hard. And I've seen a lot of broken bones. In fact, I've broken some bones. In Florida, we don't have helmet laws. Now, this is not a video where I'm trying to tell you that we should have helmet laws. That's not what I'm saying. It's not the premise of this video. But what I am telling you is that you have a personal responsibility for your safety. And wearing a helmet is just a wise decision. I rode without a helmet for years. For years, I rode without a helmet. I rode to Daytona without a helmet. I rode in the rain without a helmet. I rode too fast without a helmet. I had 16-inch ape hangers on 2-inch risers that were way up there. They were set up vertical. Man, I was riding high. Motorcycle really wasn't really safe. But I am able to ride, and I'll be honest with you, although I'm not a racer, the people that ride with me tell me I'm a skilled rider. I'll take their word for it. I take great pride in working hard to be a skilled rider. So when you're riding alone, you need to pay attention to what you're doing. You need to watch your speed, and you need to ride within your limitations. And you need to wear your gear. Pretty common sense things. The one where the guy's hat flew off, and then they turned around to make a U-turn and got ran over. and the lady died. What a horrible thing. I can't imagine how bad the young man feels. Those are things you can never let go of, that you can never get rid of. I'm certainly not defending anything that he did, but I'm also not condemning it. I wasn't there. But I am going to say this. Had they both been wearing helmets, your hat wasn't going to fly off. Wear your helmet. Just wear your helmet. You don't have to. You don't owe me an explanation. I'm saying that if you want to have a better chance of surviving when you do make a mistake, a helmet is a good place to start. The guy that ran a red light and ran into a bus, he might have been wearing a helmet. A bus is pretty big. He actually hit the front tire. So as the bus was turning, he hit the tire. The motorcycle, honestly, in the picture, and I'll see if I can't post a picture like right here. That motorcycle really did not really look that destroyed, indicating to me that he was thrown into the side of the bus though, and chances are, if he wasn't wearing a helmet. So let's talk about what we can do. Because I made a very short list of the things that we can do that will keep you much safer. These are common sense, things that you already know, I guarantee you. But I've learned a long time ago, common sense with all of us is really not that common. We have to repeat these things to ourselves and convince ourselves to do the right things. This first one, I cannot overemphasize. Know how to ride. When I am in Daytona every year, this year I mentioned it. In fact, I had to cut out a piece of a video because I used profanity, and I try not to use profanity. And when I do, it means something probably went wrong. I had my right blinker on to turn into a gas station. 4 motorcycles passed me doing 70 miles an hour. 2 of them on the left, 2 of them on the right. As I have my right blinker and I'm literally moving in the direction, 2 motorcycles passed me in the emergency lane doing 70 miles an hour. None of them wearing helmets, none of them wearing gloves, none of them wearing jackets, wearing t-shirts, jeans, and little leather, look like work boots. Not only could they have killed me, they could have killed themselves. Know how to ride. Know how to ride. That is not how you ride. I'm just going to say it. That's stupid. That's how people die. They could have killed me. I could have not come home because of that. Know how to ride. Also, understand, if you're the person that you're sitting at a red light and you don't know, you're worried because you may stall your motorcycle because you're not sure how to use your clutch. You shouldn't be around 200,000 motorcycles. Know how to ride. Know the motorcycle laws. Know how to ride your motorcycle. Know how to stop. Know how to start. Know how to turn. Know how to maneuver. Know how to make a safe U-turn. Know how to operate that machine confidently and securely. It really is important because a lot of what we do when we're driving, we're anticipating what the other driver is going to do. And when someone doesn't have the skills to make the right decision, you base your decision on what you're expecting them to do, and then they don't do it because they don't have the skills associated with riding a motorcycle yet. I'm not condemning these people. I'm simply saying, know how to ride. It's important. The next one, you're going to say, yeah, whatever. Stay sober. Stay sober. If you want to go out and drink, that's fine. That's your business. I got no problem with that. Don't put someone else's wife in a wheelchair. My wife has been in a wheelchair for 30 years because some knucklehead decided it was cool to get drunk and get behind the wheel of a car. She almost died. It's by the grace of God that she's not dead. But my wife is in a wheelchair, paralyzed, because some knucklehead had to do what they wanted to do. If you're going to ride sober. If you're going to get drunk, call an Uber. I'm a little sensitive to that one. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not saying, oh, I had one beer, I need to call an Uber. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're drunk, don't get behind the wheel of a car and don't get on the seat of a motorcycle. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. So next, stay aware. Be aware of your surroundings. The reason I'm not dead is not the guys who passed me to the left and the right. It's because I checked my mirror before I went right, and I stopped turning. I started my turn, and as I looked through my mirror, I saw them coming up fast and went straight, and they went, wow. And had I not done that, had I continued in my turn, which I had the right of way, the two guys that passed me on the right and me probably all would have died in that collision. Stay aware of what's going on. It wouldn't have been my fault, but that would not make me any more alive. The next thing, be visible. Now, being visible does not, I'm not saying you've got to wear the big old giant yellow shirt and the yellow breeches and fluorescent this. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't do that. But make sure when you buy a jacket, don't just buy a black leather jacket because it looks cool. Because you want to be, as CanAm calls it, an outlier, right? I don't care if I look cool. I just want people, when they look, to see me. I have a Joe Rocket jacket. It is black, but it has reflective piping in the shoulders, across the back, those sorts of things. Be visible. Wear gear that you are going to be visible, especially at dusk, especially at night. Make sure that you're going to be seen when there's a pop of reflectivity on what you wear. Most motorcycle gear, that is really motorcycle gear, has that on it. Make sure you have it. Now, here's the next one. Wear your gear. Let me tell you what I mean by wear your gear. Helmet. Gloves. Reinforced with armor. Real gloves. Riding shoes that actually have armor and protection in them. And riding jeans. Armor in the knees, Kevlar in the hips. And of course, a quality jacket. Would these things have saved 5 people's lives? It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. But if it saves your life, this video is well worth making. Please don't think that I'm one of those guys that is going to judge you either. If you come riding up in flip-flops and khaki shorts and a t-shirt and no helmet and a pair of ShadyRays Sun Glasses doing 100 miles an hour, I'll talk to you and I'll be nice to you and I won't have any less respect for you. I just won't ride with you. I just won't ride with you. And that's okay. But I don't want to see you die. I don't want to see you die. And I don't want to be hurt either. So there's a few things that we have learned that we already knew, but just reinforce those things. You know what Daytona really is? It's not really deadly. Daytona is delightful. 8 people died. And we know that 7 of those things were possibly avoidable. The one, we don't really have all the facts on. And it's possible that more facts will come out and not a single motorcycle did anything wrong. I don't believe that's going to be the case. I'm going to share a video right here that is going to paint a picture that you just won't believe. Here you go. Yes, they really did go over an opening drawbridge. It takes all kinds, I'm telling you. Don't be that guy. Don't do that. I really do enjoy riding with you. So I want to end on a positive note. That was kind of sad, wasn't it? It's kind of down. I don't like making these kind of videos, but I do believe that because I went over there and I've been asked a lot of questions this week by the kids that I'm on the track team with, because we live in Florida and they see this on the news. I've been asked a lot of questions about what happened and why are all these people dying on motorcycles. So motorcycle riding and going to rallies is a joy, it's beautiful, it's fun. And if you keep your head on a swivel and wear your gear, it's safe. With that said, I want you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and turn the notification bell on, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. The channel's growing. It's because of you. You are all amazing people. And what I want you to do this week, go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself. And remember, if you're not having fun, you are most definitely doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day, and we'll see you on the road real soon.